Hi guys, it's Ali and Theo, and we're back with another episode of the Undecided Gen Z.
This is the podcast where we talk about everything going on in our world, your world, and the world around us from a Gen Z perspective.
Yes, we're back for another week. See, every time I always have to say yes. I really need to change the narrative here.
I know, but now every time we also acknowledge that, so it's just a repeat of everything.
It's just a thing. No, I'm gonna change it. But we are back for another week, for another episode.
Ow! Also, we have just... I don't know if we should say this because I don't... Okay, so we have started to put out the episodes. We're recording on Zoom, and we've started to put them out on YouTube, the Zoom version. So you can also listen... You can also watch this episode on YouTube if you so wish.
Oh, I forgot that we haven't told people. We just posted it. We were just oop. But no, yes, we are. We do have episodes are up on Zoom. Some of them are just audio from when we didn't record, but now our faces are out there on the YouTube.
And it's going to be kind of dead over there because we're not attempting to really use that, but we thought we're recording the Zoom anyway, so may as well put it out there because some people have been requesting the video episodes. People love watching them for some reason.
It always will baffle me, but then I kind of understand because I watched the H3 podcast and I'm there is a difference between watching it because you get to see people's expressions and
that's true.
What they're doing. Even if we are far away, I hope it's sufficient enough.
That is actually funny because sometimes I'll listen to a podcast, but I'm watching the YouTube version while doing something, and I keep wanting to look at it and watch it anyway, even though it's just them sitting there talking.
True.
But go check that out, Undecided Gen Z.
Yes, please do. Make sure it's worth it. No, but Theo, do we have a review of the week? Do we?
We do have a review too. We do, and it's actually a really nice one. I was going to send it to you, and I was no, I'll get your natural reaction.
Ooh. I don't check. You're obsessed, but you're always obsessed. I don't even check now.
I'm obsessed. Oh, actually, we had 2 this week, so I'm spoiled for choice, to be honest. I'm got it. All right, we'll do this one. This one comes from Ella L. Watkins, who has been a very loyal listener for a while. We love Ella. She said 5 out of 5 every time. Generally don't think I've found Theo funnier with his running commentary than last week. Always find you both super relatable and can always relate to Ali in one respect or another. With peace and love, just hope Ali can find a boy that will generally treat her right as much as I love a good love update. Please keep it up. What keeps me going each week. Hope this is in time for today's recording. It wasn't in time because she submitted that on the 27th of May, but it's in for today's episode. So thank you, Ella.
Oh my god. You're right. That was good. I liked that. That makes me feel happy. Oh, Ella, so sweet. So sweet. Always.
And I love she putting out my running commentary, me just Ali giving a love update and me just in the background ooh, oh.
No, you make some remarks and help me think about things a lot. It's good. It's like having another therapist that I'm just not paying, and that's for my love life.
That's that you're not paying, and it's not very helpful. Exactly true. A therapist.
That's it.
So we have a stellar lineup of an episode today. We got some hot topics.
You hyped it up so much, and it hurts because now you got to live up.
Why?
Because you've got to live up to that.
It's going to be good. We were just going through our topic list. I was boom, boom, banger after banger.
Just us. We've got some obviously personal updates. We wouldn't have that without the podcast. I mean, we wouldn't have the podcast without that. Then we've got some little just random topics that I won't discuss, but they're exciting. Then we've got a little new segment called Am I the Arsehole? Which if you've been on Reddit or you follow probably Flex Mummy, you probably know about it because you've seen her post. Not that I'm obsessed, but I thought it'd be fun to discuss to discuss someone's on the podcast because they're always interesting. Well, not always, but they're juicy. So I thought, why not? And then we ended off with, what are we ending it off with? I forgot.
I think we're just ending it with a nice farewell and a please subscribe.
I love that. I got so distracted because you just put on the mustache. That's why there was that pause. I was
I look so different in this Zoom screen. Although in the recordings it doesn't work well. I know it jumps around every 2 minutes. So if you're watching, it's probably distracting. But
that's what I got distracted with. But no, I'm excited for this episode. Theo, start us off. How's your week been?
So we obviously had lockdown and actually came out of lockdown. I was pretty sad because they let the regional people out early. And I was like, don't let us, like, we should all be in this together. Keep us in lockdown. Don't give us this half-assed or half-hearted lockdown. So I had to go back to work. Working from home was a bit of a vibe. And still can't do anything, though. I'm just got, like, the negative sides of opening up.
You just go to work and that's it.
COVID was rampant. My birthday was not super exciting.
Oh, yes. Happy birthday. Forgot about that. Sorry. No, I didn't forget about your birthday. I meant like now. I forgot about it.
Didn't
like
even get so much as a happy birthday, but that's okay.
Sure.
It's been a little while, but I actually reignited a conversation this week with Mr Feet Feet Pics man. Because
Michelle's going to be rampant. She's going to be calling me. Michelle's my mom for everybody who's listening.
Is she not into it?
No, she's so like scared. She's like, he's a creep. She's so scared for you with all your weird people that contact you. She's like, they're probably a pedophile. And I'm like, Mom, he's an adult now. But like, yes.
This is true. But this time I actually started the conversation. It had been a while since, actually probably a few days since he was in my DMs asking for me to take my socks off. No. Well, actually, I'd been in a communication with him a while ago to be on the podcast because I am really keen to like speak to him. Because I feel like that would be so scary. Imagine that.
It'd be so fun, but like, where is he?
Where is he? Exactly. I'd been in communication a while ago and then he'd got too annoying like requesting stuff. So I decided to slide back into his DMs for another chance at getting him on the podcast, right? And it went okay. A couple of highlights was let me just read out this message. So basically, I asked if he would come back on the podcast. I said to him, so remember how I asked you if you'd be down to come on the podcast? And he said yes. And I said, would you be keen to make an appearance? And he said, for some pics, sure.
He's blackmailing you. Is it bribing? Blackmail. Bribing.
No, he's trying to get a deal, which I said, fair enough. Well, I didn't say fair enough, but I was like, what pics? And he said, I'd happy to do your podcast and expose myself online, but I think a pic or two would be fair in exchange. So he said, what if I pay you and show up on the podcast and expose myself? And so I said to him, like, semi-jokingly, bro, I just got baptized. I'm sorry, but I'm too holy for that now. He responds, you say that as if it doesn't make it hotter. Laughing emoji.
Ooh, no. He's odd. I'm sorry if he's listening. You're very odd.
He's bold. And I mean, sure, if that's your intentions, be bold. Why not? But I ended up just ignoring him for a bit, and he finally gets back to me and says, wait, I've got an idea. So I said, okay, let's hear it. He sends a screenshot of my last Instagram pic, which, if you go to my Instagram, it is just me sitting like on a chair on a balcony with like the ocean in the background. And he goes, I want a shirtless pic that also shows your feet. Sends the photo like this, but with you sitting straight and without the shirt and socks. That's all.
So are you going to do it?
Well, that's my question. And he said, the more of your legs you show, the better. I really just want teasers from you because I know you have religious reservations. And then he calls me out and says, in brackets, not that stops you from drinking, but whatever. And then
so
like
he
a
listens
confused
to the
emoji.
Podcast.
He's listening to us right now.
He's listening right
Brand's
now.
just watching our every move.
Hello. I don't have an answer for you. Half of me is like, Theo, just do it. Like, get him on the podcast, send the picture, do it. Other part of me is like, he's more than just a feet guy now. He wants the legs pics. He's like wanting to like see how far you can push your religion. Like, this is a whole nother weird.
Yes, he's made it a little bit more complex. Like he's throwing in some extra elements here.
Yeah, he's trying to spice it up, you know.
But my thing is like, I think it would be really entertaining to speak to him for the podcast, and anything that I would post, like I wouldn't because I'm like too self-conscious, but like I would post a picture of me sitting there shirtless to normal Instagram. So to send to him in exchange for coming on.
Like, what's the difference? But like, I don't know. It
does feel a bit different.
It does, just a little.
So at this point, I'm thinking it might be a go. So stay
It's all
tuned.
about
Unless
the content.
anyone,
All about the content.
unless anyone listens to this podcast, message me if you've got any serious. If you think it's going to be a bad idea. But then this is the last little
I can't see any
bit.
potential bad
No, I agree.
things happening. But content,
I agree. There's a whole picture of. There's a whole video of me covering myself in Nutella, like almost naked.
Yeah,
anyway.
exactly.
So
exactly.
and
Probably where he started his
finished.
fetish off with.
I think he did. He's definitely seen it. He's been around since there. And we finished the convo because I said to him, "Not you calling me out," and he said he actually got deep for a moment. Like I appreciated him opening up for a sec. I'm like, wow, am I about to expose him? He said, "I might be a hedonistic perv now, but at one point in my life, I was a good Christian boy like you. I just asked too many questions. It doesn't add up, Daddy-o." And I said, man said feet pics over God. And he said, feet pics have never let me down.
He has a point. He has a little bit of a point. Okay. I think just go for it. That's my final answer. I'm not going to change it. Go for it. Let's get the content. Let's do it. What have we got to lose?
So, exactly. Maybe I won't tell you guys, but if you see Mr. Feet Pics on the podcast in the next few weeks, you'll have your answer.
No. Oh my God. I really thought he died. Like, I thought he's done. I thought he was done for. But he's back and he's thriving.
Well, I thought surely he's realised he's picked up on the signals and he's moved on. But maybe he likes the game of it all. Although he did actually ask me, he said,
mouse chase.
This man has he just has no boundaries when it comes to boldness. Because then he sends at the end of the conversation, also, not sure if you'll help me, but if you know any cute guys who have loose moral leanings and wouldn't mind me getting stuff from them, as long as they're over 18, that you could send my way and or point me to, that would be great. Always looking for more people to do business with, drooling emoji. And Australian guys have the best feet and pretty decent, I
just love loose moral. Oh my God.
I mean, we have to love him for supplying the content.
He's honest. He's going after what he wants, and that's all you can ask for, you know? That's all you can ask for.
It is, and it's more than you could say for a lot of us, so good on him.
I don't know if I'm trying to convince myself or I'm just like stating the truth. Either way.
Okay, no. At this point, I'm really keen. I'm like, I just want to get inside his mind.
Oh, God.
Anyway, moving on to actual romance. The update. The people have been calling for it. I said, what should we speak about this week? And multiple people said, we need the love update, of course.
Well, I posted on the Facebook group. Did you not see? I sent it to you personally, though.
Oh!
But I posted on the Facebook group, like, a couple of days ago of, like, the updates on that day that it happened. So go join the Facebook group if you want to know the juicy goss or whatever's happening when it happens.
Where we left off, though, is that you have been interested in guy number 4, and he had offered to pick you up from your wisdom teeth appointment. We don't know where he stands. We don't know if he's heard the podcast, but you had your wisdom teeth out, by the way. Congratulations.
Yes,
Did
I
he
got
pick
4
you up?
Wisdom teeth out. So
have we had any progression? Where are we at? I'm scared.
So Friday. So we're at it's what's today? Monday. So it's Monday. A couple of days ago, Friday. He picked me up in the morning, drove me to the dentist, and then waited and like did whatever he wanted. Whatever, I think he just walked around or something, and then I got my teeth removed, and he came and picked me up. It was really so me kind of.
Were you a disaster?
No, surprisingly, well, maybe he has a different story, but I think I was pretty tame. I can remember it all. Guys, usually, I actually might post them in the Facebook group, but usually with my anesthetic. Oh, I don't really know the word. Oh my God, I hate that this happens. Usually with the anesthetic, I am crazy. I'm off my head. Like last time I thought I was pregnant with Jesus 2.0. And
You
that
need to drop that video in the Facebook group.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then that because I had my appendix out, I had this pain in my stomach for some reason I thought I had a miscarriage, and then I killed Jesus 2.0. That was a wild ride. Another time I invited all these people to a party at my house, all the nurses. And the same time I thought I accused one of the nurses of murdering Marty from Madagascar because she was wearing... I think she was wearing a shirt with like zebras on it, and I was like, "You killed Marty, like you murderer!" And I literally was like, "You're a murderer," and also thought I was a wizard. Harry Potter thought I was a wizard. Anyway, so I'm known for having crazy experiences with that. So I was preparing for the worst. I was so scared what I was going to say, what I was going to be like, especially because I thought like wisdom teeth, I'm going to look disgusting, and I'm going to be awful. I was fine. I was chilling. I was probably in the chair for like 45 minutes. They all came out. I was a little woozy. But yeah, as I said, like I thought that he would just pick me up and leave. But like he had to go. They called him and then he had to go. He didn't have to, but he went and like picked up my medication, then came back. And then like held my hand and like walked me to the car.
Oh.
So cute.
Oh.
And then took me back to my place, and he was just gonna like kind of drop me off, but then he came over, like he obviously took me up my stairs and came into my place and like make sure I was okay. But then he wrote, it was so cute, he wrote down like in big letters of big writing of like all like the medication to take. And then I was really tired and like laying down, and he just like played me guitar and I like fell asleep to him playing me guitar and like singing. Just for like 10 minutes or so. And then I like woke up and we just hung out for the rest of the afternoon. And that was really it. So yeah. That like, I don't know.
Oh,
yeah. It was really nice. That's all I've got to say. And like, it was just weird. Like I have this whole thing with like not wanting to like ask people for help, or like not wanting people to go out of their way for me.
Yeah.
Unless I'm like comfortable with them, because like the burden thing and like not wanting to be an issue. So like that was like magnified because that was the second time I saw him, apart from like on FaceTime and stuff. And it's literally him just like looking after me. But yeah, it was chill. We just hung out. Yeah, well, I don't know what to say. Every time I keep talking about this, it's making like nervous. I'm like getting sweaty hands.
He has that effect on you?
No, it's like talking about it on a public platform that has an effect on me. But he did like mention when we were driving. I don't know if it was. Yeah, I don't know if it was like before we were going there or after. But he like brought up the podcast.
Oh.
And I don't remember specifically what he said, but it just got me stressing because I was like,
wait, what do you mean? Did he say he's listened to it? Or?
No, he has. I don't think he's listened to it. At least he hasn't told me he's listened to it. But he just kind of asked like what it's about, like what we talk about, and I was like, oh yeah. And then
wait, that's why him having listened to the episode where we spent like 40 minutes talking about him. It's like, well, so what do you think about just testing you? And you're like, is she gonna say?
That's literally what I was like in my head, being like, should I just say what I talk about, or like? But I didn't. I just like, oh yeah, personal stories. We interview people sometimes. Me not talking about it for like 40 minutes. No, yeah. But apart from that, like that, yeah, we just hung out, connected more. We played a game called We're Not Really Strangers, which you just kind of ask each other questions and stuff like that. He like left me at the end of the game. There's like a final card where you have to write a note for the person. It can be anything you want.
Yeah, I've not played that. That sounds very stressful.
No, it's actually quite fun. But you write like a note for them to read once they've like left. So like I wrote him a note, and mine was just like, it's been so nice like getting to know you, and like can't wait to get to know you more, blah blah. And then he left me a note, and I opened it.
Oh my gosh. And
it was so cute. It was just like, because he already knows that I'm a huge overthinker. Like I'm just very upfront about it, and like he knows that I'm indecisive as hell and an overthinker, and now it's just become a thing. Yeah,
I don't think you particularly hide either of those things.
No, but like it's weird. Like with him, like I'll actually just be like, look, I know I'm overthinking this, but this is why I'm overthinking this, and then I'll go through like the steps. Well, not like the steps, but like, and he'll be like, oh, okay, and he actually like likes it because then he can understand what I'm thinking. I don't understand it. I don't know if that makes any sense. Anyway, he goes,
I'll get you a man that wants to learn about your mind.
oh my god, stop. Yeah. I'm trying to find it now. Oh, here it goes.
Ellie acting like she hasn't been sleeping with it under her bed.
No, it
under
was
her
like,
pillow for the last week.
so part of like one of the questions of the game was like quickly come up with a nickname for each other. I couldn't come up with one for him, but he came up with one for me because my initials are AM, and I'm like I do a podcast and studying radio, so he like just called me Radio. So he wrote that on the thing. I don't know if people can see that. And then on the note it just says,
oh, damn, you should have came up with an actual nickname for him so we could have replaced number 4 with a proper name.
True, but I can't think of one. Anyway, he goes, you're a lot better at things than you give yourself credit for. Remember to give yourself grace more often. Which is really cute because we talked a lot about that. And stop, you're making me so anxious. Anyway.
No, it's just adorable.
But then that ended and I was still like, and I talked to friends and I was still like, oh, I don't know what we are. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if like that's just a friendly thing.
What is going on?
That's the thing, I don't know. Guys, please help a girl out. If you
Where
were
do
in
we
this
go
scenario,
from here?
if you were
What's
on
the
the other
next
side,
step?
what's going on? Are we friends? Are we dating? Well, not dating, but are we like going on dates? Like, well, obviously last time wasn't a date. But that's what I thought until last night. Because he talked about going to art gallery on Friday too. And I was like, okay. And then last night I was like, when are you free to go to the art gallery? And we were talking. And neither of us are free for like the next like little while. So I was like, oh, I can do something at night too. And he's like, oh yeah, cool, we can do this and this and this. And he's like, actually, do you want to go to a drive-in movie? And I was like,
oh,
I've never been to a drive-in movie, but I was like, that seems something like more like datey. So I was like, yeah, so that is positive. That's a positive little
that to me
spin
is
I needed on.
like, there's a lot of things which could be kind of grey, but I feel like asking someone to a drive-in movie is a date. Like, there's no question whether that's going to be a date.
I'm hoping. Well, he was like, we could get
and if
dinner.
it's not a date, then it's like a very cruel setup, lead on situation, because that's romantic.
Well, he was like, we could get dinner
What's
or
the
go
movie?
to an arcade, or like we could do this or that. And he's like, or we could go to a drive-in movie. And I was like, oh, the drive-in movie sounds cool.
Like, that one seems the most romantic.
Well, no, I was just like, I hadn't even responded yet, and he was like, oh, maybe like a drive-in movie would be better. He's like, up to you. And I was like,
Oh, okay.
I can't decide. Anyway, but then he also has some like gigs coming up, so I don't know if he's going to invite me to them. So stop. You're so weird.
I'm just happy for you. This is so exciting.
It's not.
Ali dying of excitement inside.
No,
she
I'm
can't.
like-
She can't be excited. I can understand why you can't come on
Yeah.
here and be like, "Oh my god, she invited me to the drive-in." Because then he listens to this. Because listen, let's go back to this for a second. You are out here like posting on your story. Go listen to my new podcast. The title straight up is like. Romance updates. He is watching your stories going like, I'm just gonna ignore that and not even listen out of curiosity. Like,
no, it's like that. It's also like not wanting to come across like that too. Like, obviously it does get me excited at points, but then there's part of me that doesn't even want to get excited about certain things because of like all of the past relationship or like times I've seen people, and I just don't really want to get my hopes up to then be like let down. It just sucks. Like, and like in the moment, like I messaged you about it, or I messaged my friend Adele about it, or something like that in the moment, and I'm like, oh my god. But then after a while, like today, I'm kind of like, oh yeah, like that's fun, or like maybe we're just friends, because I'm trying to like rationalize it so I'm not like hurt if it doesn't work out in the way I want it to. Does that make sense? So like,
well, yeah, and especially obviously at some point, like having your walls up like that isn't going to be effective, but especially in these early days when there's been no confirmation of any kind of feelings, I think that's fair enough and perfectly rational.
Exactly. So like, coming on here and saying what's happened is enough for me that's scary enough. Then like being like, oh my god, because then like
Next
not me
episode,
having
we're like,
to-
Ali, where's the number 4 love update?
and
And
I'm
you're
like,
like,
wow. No,
oh,
because
no,
that's what I'm
that's going to be really
serious.
sad and slightly awkward. Yes.
Yeah, like that's what I've been
Maybe
thinking
more than
about. Like
slightly.
in a couple of like not months, but in a couple of weeks or something, if like things don't pan out how I thought they were going to pan out, how we all thought they were going to pan out, because I've hyped it up so much.
Let's do a little like disclaimer that if in the next like 3 episodes we come on here and there's no mention of number 4, it's because something
Nobody
bad
speaks
has
a word.
It's
Nobody speaks
something
a
bad
word.
has happened, and Ali has said we are not talking about that, and so you'll know.
Exactly. No, but like at the moment, things are positive. Things are
You
fine.
can message
We're
me
just
for
not-
the goss in private.
We're just go message Theo for the details. But no, I'm just not hyping it up too much. Yeah, except for like privately, because I hype it up heaps privately, guys. And on the Facebook group, I was like hyping it up privately, but that's not privately, but still. But like on the podcast, seems like such a bigger platform. I don't know. Obviously, I don't know. Anyway, moving on.
Well, yes.
Moving on to my actual wisdom teeth. So I got 4 wisdom teeth out, right? Have not been in hardly any pain. Like a little bit of pain, but not majorly. Like, especially because I'm so dramatic. I'm the most dramatic person when it comes to pain in the history
Which
of...
today I refound a video that is so funny you bring that up. I found a video from like iconic Ali Theo. Oh.
Classic us, in the midst of recording, Theo's power goes out. So it's been about like 20 minutes or something since we're just on. But if you're watching, I've got like a new light on. That's why I look different. Because I'm like,
No,
if
you're
there's
saying
watching-
classic us. You're manifesting this negative like disaster mistakes on us.
It just
When
no,
does
it
that happen
happens.
to us?
It
Yes,
everything
yes.
it does happen a lot.
Can I just say, guys, that was so weird. I felt like I stepped back into the 1800s. I'm like, what did people do pre-electricity? The whole electricity in my town went out, and I'm just sitting there in the dark with my family. Like, when it started to get dark, do people just go to bed? And how did they get to bed? Like, how did they see their beds to get into it? Like, this is so bizarre. I'm like, well, we can watch TV because that's not like internet. My family's like, no, that's electricity. I'm like, well, what about water at least? And like, no. Can't have a shower. I'm like, what? You literally can't do anything.
Candle?
Yes, we had stacks of candles out. All ready to go. I was ready to pull out a book and like read by candlelight.
By candle.
But
Classic.
we came back on after like half an hour. I just truly cannot imagine life back then. But
Weird
people did it
times.
and they survived.
Yeah, like even like me right now, I'm so cold because I can't have the heater on because it will disrupt the recording. But I'm like, how did people just like stay warm? Like I've literally got shoes and
heaters.
socks on and pants. How did they fight? I just don't know. Like what weird times.
We back. And as I was saying, this video that it pulled up today, which is such a coincidence that you mentioned it, is a moment when literally 6 years ago now, I was at Ali's
6
house.
years,
I think we might have even... Oh, is that pre-YouTube? We might have been filming a YouTube video or something. But Ali somehow like jammed her finger in the door. And it is basically like a 10-minute video of Ali like screaming on the floor, like sobbing, like... And
It's so funny.
Classic
I watched
me is
it
just
back,
standing above
and
you
you're just
filming, like
laughing.
narrating.
You're laughing.
It
And
is.
I'm in
I mean,
so
you were
much pain.
You
I'm
were
in so
dramatic,
much
but it was
pain.
kind of terrible on my end. I'm just like, could I do something? And you're like, it is
No, but, like,
classic.
I was being dramatic, of course. As I said, I'm very dramatic, usually with pain. But, like, my whole, like, fingertip was jammed in the door. It was, like, bloody and, like, sore.
Yes.
And Theo's
No, that-
there, like,
yeah, it
pulled out
does
the
hurt.
camera and laughing. And then he's like, what do you want me to do? I was like, can you get me some tissues? He gets, like, filming himself getting tissues and then comes back and then just continues to laugh at me.
I don't know if I'm laughing, but yes, the way that was my first
did.
reaction
I was
is
listening,
to just
I was
capture
watching it
this
back.
moment.
Classic.
I was like, this
Theo.
is our viral video. I think it's literally titled like "Teen Girl Throws Tantrum Over Small
Dramatic,
Finger."
yeah.
And Ali made me take it down, but
It
could
had
have been
2K
something.
views,
You could have been the
though.
next Charlie Bit My Finger.
Legit, it had 2K views. Like, that's pretty...
It was going somewhere.
It was.
Before we move on, did you contact your Janet? Is an update to the creepy
Oh my god,
tarot
I
card.
completely forgot. Oh my god, I'm writing a little spiral in my head to do that. A reminder
spiral?
spiral. Yeah, like a reminder
What is that?
spiral.
What is a reminder spiral?
I don't know. It's like just a mark on my hand, so I'll remember to do it. But yes, no, I need to do that. Oh my god! I also need to go get some crystals that the lady told me to go get. The girl.
Oh no! Here we go.
No, she said they might help. So I'm like, okay, I'll take anything at this point.
You're like, apparently this green crystal causes like drama and crisis in your life. I need to get me some of those.
No, she didn't say that one. She did not recommend that one, but she recommended me some others that I'll hopefully get and see if they help. But no, I think we should get into some other topics. Enough about us.
Some hot topics. We've got some good ones. Will we get to any, or will we do one for like 3 hours like last time? Probably. So, yes, I wanted to just warm us up today with a question that someone asked me this week, which I thought was kind of interesting. It is a little hypothetical question, and I'm interested to hear your take. So the question was... No, it's nothing crazy. It's
okay. I always get scared when you pull out some questions. Like, who knows?
So, on the topic of sacrifice, on the topic of motherhood, on the topic of babies, if you were a mother and you had a baby and it was born with one eye, would you sacrifice one of your own eyes so the baby could have two?
No. Sorry. No. No, I don't know.
I mean, I think that's fair enough. I don't know.
I don't think... Oh, that makes me such a bad person, though. I'm going to steal this question.
Does it?
No, because, like, don't, like, mothers always want to do what's best for their children and, like...
Yes, so why would you not give your...
That's what I'm saying. But me saying no, I feel really bad. But I also don't want to.
I think you should feel bad because you, in this scenario, have already lived your life. You're like a grown woman.
Oh,
you're having a child.
You're really pulling out this card.
No, but I'm just saying, you've like lived your life. You're having a child, and then it doesn't really matter if you lose an eye because like you still have someone that loves you. You still have a baby. You've been through it all. Whereas this kid has to now go through its whole life with one eye and probably never be accepted properly. Get all kinds of nicknames,
are they
ridiculed.
Like a cyclops eye? Is it like one eye in the middle of their head, or is it like just one eye? Like, this is my question. Or is it like
they've got one eye in the middle of their head, and where are you going to add the other eye?
No, but like, do they have?
So they're going to have two eyes on the side.
Do they have the eye socket?
Yes, they've got one. They've got one eye socket full and one eye socket empty, so you could just slot your eye in.
Well, I don't think that's how it works, but.
I mean, in this hypothetical doctor world.
I don't want to.
Why?
Because I'm selfish. No, like I would.
Okay, well, I
would. No, I would. Because like it's
really?
not like I could no, but look, I could still see.
I definitely would not, but that's nice of you.
I could still see like everything. It's just it's not like a blind.
If your baby add one on, if your baby was born with no arms, would you give them one of your arms so you both have one?
No, that seems stupid.
I know.
Because then we're both at a disadvantage. Like, at least like if I've got two arms, I can properly take care of my child. Whilst if I only have one
and then you're gonna have to spend the rest of your life taking care of the child because they've got zero arms and can do nothing for themselves.
They'll adapt. Whilst I can't adapt. I've already been born with two arms. If you take away an arm now, I'm gonna be at a disadvantage.
And how do you propose that the baby adapts to zero arms?
That's true. That's so true. I would not give my eye or my arm because
you wouldn't.
No. Listen, this is my thinking behind it. Because if you take them away from me now, I can't adapt, right? Well, I could, but it would take me longer. But like, if a child is born with that, that's all they know. That's all they have. So they just have to learn how to deal with that, and they adapt. Am I wrong?
But they might accept the fact that they don't have an eye, but the whole world is still going to view them as a one-eyed freak for the rest of their lives.
So what, do you see people who have one eye as a one-eyed freak? Because there are people with one eye.
Well, I don't see people with one eye full stop. But if I was, I'm not going to think they're a freak. But you're still going to like pay attention to them in public and be like, damn, that person's got one eye in the middle of their forehead.
No, you said it was just one normal.
No, okay, yes.
You can't keep changing the scenario.
No, the eye one I agree with, but the arm one, have you seen Soul Surfer? She got her arm bitten off by a shark, Have
I
you
don't
seen
want-
Soul Surfer?
Yeah,
You've seen Soul
I don't
Surfer.
like it.
And
I
how
want
quickly
both
did you
my arms.
adapt?
I want both my arms. I'm sorry.
I would propose though that you'll end up being more at a disadvantage because you'll have to be the caretaker for the child for like eternity.
No, they'll figure it out.
Like you'll be 80 and they'll be
No, I'll
60
push them
or 50.
out. I'll push them into the deep end. They'll figure it out. I just want my arms, okay? I want my arms. I want my eyes. Just leave me be. Leave me be. I'm not feeling generous tonight. This evening wasn't a great choice to ask me these questions because generous Ali is just not to be seen anywhere.
You know what they say about being a mother?
It's not for everybody.
Well, that. But it's also a woman's biggest sacrifice.
Yeah, I don't want kids. No, I do want kids, but I don't want kids. But I don't want to go through
Really?
the pain of kids. Like, could you imagine me giving birth? No. No. I could not deal with that pain. Like, gas
No,
me.
the whole, yes, you already are like on an eternal roller coaster of emotion 24/7, let alone going through 9 months of pregnancy.
Could you
I don't know
imagine?
how this
Oh
would
my
go.
god.
But
If we're friends,
isn't
you
it
better
crazy?
record the whole process. I swear to God.
damn, that does not seem like a good way to keep you peaceful and happy. You're like in labour, screaming, and I'm outside your door with my camera. Like,
No, I
"Hey,
didn't
it's for the
mean labour.
content."
I meant the 9 months of like the mood. I'd just love to know. Maybe I'll become an angel though. Maybe I'd be the most tame person ever because it would like switch.
That's
you know how
true.
people
That's true.
become completely different people? Exactly.
Isn't it crazy though that we're at the phase in our lives where we could almost have kids? Like someone that I went to primary school with who was my age, I just saw on Facebook today, announced her third baby.
Oh,
She's got
is
a
that
full
that girl?
family, 3 kids.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's so weird. I went to like kinder with her. It's so weird. Like, in people getting married, I saw somebody I know like have an engagement on like Facebook, and I was like, I like had to
Right.
stop and I checked the comments, and I was like, this has to be a joke. I was like, this got to be a joke. No, it's not a joke.
I would have never thought of. I always would have thought of 21 as very young, but I'm like, okay, you can be 21 and get married. But now I'm here. I'm like, imagine literally going through that process of being like, no, now I'm married. I'm living with you. You are like the rest of my life. I'm
It's,
tied to
like,
you.
No, thank you. No, thank you. Not right now. Like, and then I
No.
remember me even like 2 years ago, I was like, I want to be married and have kids by 25. No thanks. That is what, 4 years for me? No, I don't want kids 4 years. No.
And what would you like? What do you? Surely that just means everything. I don't know. I just feel like that cuts off so many things in your life.
It kind of feels like it's like stops it. You know what I mean? Like it like obviously you're still living life, but it means like you can't. Are you actually living? Oh my god! All these people who are like have kids and everything, but literally, does your life end when you have kids? It does in a way.
When you have kids, yeah,
half
no.
of
When
your
you
life
literally,
ends.
no. Is this what we were talking? What I mentioned on the other podcast? How was thinking about this recently. How weird it seems. Like life is just a cycle of having kids and then raising them for what? Raising them to have more kids, and it's just like a continuous cycle like this. Did we talk
You
about
have
that?
not talked about that. That's freaking me out. Can we not talk
No,
about that?
but-
Oh my god, my brain.
No, literally, isn't it so bizarre? Like so just say your mum dedicates like her life once she has you to like raising you, trying to make you a great person, setting you up for life, and then for what? So in 5 years you can then have kids and do the same with them. Like at what point? Who ends up receiving the benefit of this? Because you're all just having kids. And it's just because when parents say like their lives are their kids when they have kids, or like their
I don't
main
want
purpose and
kids. I
priority is
refuse
to raise
now.
their kids.
Yeah.
And obviously, you're like going to be do other things when you have kids, but like if people say that's
But
the
it's like-
main thing,
It's kind of like their
what
life
is-
ends
what are we doing
when
this
they
for?
start another life. Like, I feel like there's a whole nother life when you have kids. Like, you're not the same person. You're not... Like, do you ever get to enjoy hobbies anymore? Fully? Like, do you ever get to enjoy anything fully? Because in the back of your mind, you're always thinking about your kids. Oh my god, I think I'm having like a quarter life
exactly,
crisis.
which is
I
why
think
it's like,
quarter-life
okay, why do
crisis.
we put so much into raising the child to be like an amazing person, not amazing as in, but like be prepared and like have skills and stuff, and then they just become a parent and have to do the same with their next kids.
Yeah, and even when they leave, like, my mum will still be like, oh, I got no sleep last night. And I'm like, why? She's like, I was stressing about you. And I'm like, Mum, I'm in literally a different state. Like, I don't want that to be my life. Like, what? I'm 21. I've left home. I literally don't even, like, live at home anymore. I don't even live in the same state as my mum. And she still stresses about me when I'm not there. Like, I don't want to be doing that when
I mean, that's probably makes sense because they're even more stressed because you're like unattainable from her.
Yeah, no, but just in general, I should not be thinking about my kids when they leave the house. Like, but the fact that, like, I know that's not realistic because parents always say they think about their kids whenever they, like, leave the house or they do anything. Like, imagine your whole mind being consumed by another person, like your child, like, all the time. And you can't enjoy anything in life. That's why I actually brought it up with somebody. Maybe it was you, but I was like, I hate the idea of, like, this is going to sound so bad, but I hate the idea of, like, my partner or my husband or whatever loving our kids more than me. And that sounds so terrible. Like, so terrible. But it's, like, true. Like, I'm like, okay, I'll obviously love the kids, but, like, I don't want them to
I wonder.
Oh, that hurts.
That's true, actually. I think... No, I mean, I feel like a couple's love for each other is more important because then it's going to be stronger for the child.
Yeah,
but at the same time, I feel like you kind of would... Like a random human who you've just decided to like connect with versus like a human that's come out of your body, created from parts of you.
Yeah, so understandable for me to love the kid more than him, but not for him to love the kid more than me.
I mean, it was made from him too.
Yeah, but did he carry it for 9 months? I don't think so. So, that's my issue. I don't want him loving this kid more than me. And that might make me like crazy or whatever. No, it's fine.
No, I think it does make you crazy because it's not like has the same love for the kid as it does for you.
Okay, that's true. I didn't think
about it. I would feel weird getting jealous because it's not like the attention or the love he's giving.
I'm not jealous.
The attention you're getting is a different type of attention. So
okay,
I feel
didn't think about it
jealous
that way.
of the kid.
Stop. I didn't think about it that way. I just thought about it as in like if we were in a burning building, he would save the kid before he saved me.
Well, who would you save?
Probably the kid. But
well, you would save the kid because you're obsessed with saving younger. Like, you've got this weird young person child fetish where you're like, I need to save them.
But it's not what I would do. It's what he would do. And before I get married, I'm going to ask him this question, whoever he may be. And if he says he'd save the kid, we're not getting married.
Before you even have kids. That is like a question. There's a trend on TikTok where like girlfriends ask their boyfriend, if we didn't know each other and you were dating someone completely different,
would you cheat
and you like
on me?
saw me, would you cheat on them with me? And all the guys like, no, I don't know you. And the girls are getting like,
yeah, but that makes sense. Like, why would you cheat? No, I wouldn't either. I would say no too. But this is legitimate though. Like, if he was to save the kids before me, I at least want him to be in a little bit of a debacle about it. Like, he really has to think about it. Like, not just
you want there to
like
be a moment of,
yeah,
this isn't a simple choice. This is really hard for me.
Yeah. Like,
so then the house burns down and you both die.
I ultimately want him to save the kids, but I want him to really think about it. I want him to really be
this is an interesting one because you spoke about a couple of weeks ago about how you wouldn't choose or save anyone over yourself. You're in a fire and you have the opportunity to jump out of a window or throw the kids out of the window and you both survive. No, whoever goes out the window survives. Are you saving yourself or the child? Actually, wait. There's a burning house.
Yeah.
You're like close to the door and you're like, yes, I can escape. You hear your child yelling upstairs, Mom! But the house is like crumpling down around you. Do you risk it, go up and save the child, or do you get out there and save yourself?
I save the child, obviously.
But if you save the child, you die. If you save the child, you die.
Yeah, I would sacrifice my life for the child. If it's my child. Or if it's a child,
Okay. Child, any child.
Yeah. As I said...
So now you're sacrificing yourself.
Yeah. Because the child has more life to live than me.
You're sacrificing yourself for a random child.
Also, in the moment, if it wasn't my child, would I hesitate? Yes. The answer is yes, I would hesitate.
Mom! Did someone say something? I don't think so. I think the fire's coming down really quick.
Like, the official people were like, so you didn't know your child was up there? I was like, no, I thought they were at childcare. I thought they was hooking up. No. No. I would obviously save the child. I would have hesitation. Of course I would have hesitation. Like, I would be killing myself. That's hesitation. I would hesitate to do that. But I would save the child, ultimately. It would take me a little bit to get there. But I would save the child.
Would you save your mum or a random child?
Oh my god. The random child. I've already said this. I would save the random child.
I'm just glad when you did that poll on your story that majority of people sided with me and did not save the random child.
That's true. I was kind of shocked. I was kind of like, fair. Okay, I see where everybody's heads lay. But that's fine. So I recently was like last week I was on Instagram Live, but we saw how last week's episode panned out. We didn't even get to the end. I didn't even get to the end of the episode. But...
No, we did enjoy the feedback rolling in saying people loved the Theo solo moment.
There's been no feedback, but sure. Keep living, team. Keep living. But like I was asked to talk about, or we were asked to talk about how we make friends in our 20s or as an adult. Oh my god, we're 21. Oh, yuck. I still thought we were 20 for a second. And of course...
Actually, you know how we were talking about how neither of us cared about being 21? Well, then I saw something, what was it about? Like the age of like 15. And I was like, 15 was 6 years ago.
Stop.
Like 17 was 4 years ago.
Stop.
Like we are so far out of teenagehood at this point.
It's so weird because sometimes I like think about it and I still think I'm like 17 or 18. Because I'm like, I think back and I'm like, oh yeah. Or like I'm watching like a kid, okay, I'm exposing myself. But I'm watching like a kid's like movie or like show or whatever. And I'm like, oh, living my life. I'm like, or like I'm watching like, there's this show on Disney Plus called Big Shot. It's about like this high school girls basketball team. And I'm like relating to it. I'm like, oh yeah, high school basketball. Not me being 21 and they're supposed to be like 16. And
legit.
Makes me feel a little old. So it's hard in those ways because I like catch myself. I catch myself and I'm like, oh, I'm not 15.
That's
I'm
not me.
I'm not in a high school
like musical, it's weird for me to be associating with that. Right? And the way that we're almost like at the age where teens can start like roasting us for being old and like uncool and unrelatable. Like that's when it's, if I see any like roasts for people born in 2000, that's when it's going to be like shred up the identity card, faking my age. Pretending I'm 13.
For sure. No, but making friends. Obviously, I'm really good at it because I just moved up to Sydney and I've had to make friends. Talk
us through... Actually, this is a funny topic because I saw 2 TikToks on this week because we were going to speak about last week. And then 2 separate TikToks came up on my feed, which actually had a couple of interesting tips. So I think, to be honest, I lost one of them, but I'm going to play one and we can like discuss what they said. But yeah, you did move to Sydney and obviously had to kind of start afresh with your friendship circles. What were like the ways you've got like a few friends now. What were like the ways that you found to make adult friends?
Well, obviously like the first connection I like made, which helped you make others, was at like TAFE at like where I was studying, which is obviously a great place because it's kind of like school, but you get more of a choice on who you want to become friends with. Except for if you're in a course like me where there's not a lot of people. Not to say that I wouldn't be friends with him if there weren't a lot of people. I would still probably be friends with him. This is boy number 2, by the way. But I just remember becoming friends with him by just like bantering. And I find that really easy. Just to like ride off somebody else's like humor and like, you know, have that kind of connection and like...
Yeah, and the fact that you're in like a small enclosed space with not a lot of options is always going to be helpful.
Yeah.
Because I feel like so many people go to uni and they're like, there's 200 people in this lecture room. They don't interact with anyone. Or they sit down next to someone like once and have like a good interaction and then never see them again because they just get lost in the crowd.
And I actually have a tip for that because not that I've experienced that, well, sometimes, but like if you do have that situation where you really get along with somebody and then you're like scared you're never going to see them again or something like that, or you get their like social media but you don't know how to like progress, I think you just have to like throw yourself in the deep end. I think you just gotta like reach out to them if you have their social media, or if you see them again and try and form that connection more and be like, hey, like put yourself out there and be like, hey, I'd really like to get to know you more, like become friends or like do something. Or if you know that you have like a common interest, be like, hey, do you want to go do that, or do you want to get coffee or go for a walk or something like that. Because like, if you think about it, as humans, all we do want to do is like form new connections and like find new people and become friends with people. So the reality of it is like they're not gonna be like mean and be like gross, like go away. You know what I mean? But like the way I got more friends was basically I had to do that. I had to put myself out there because I hadn't hung out with him outside of TAFE. And I was just basically like, you know what? I'm going to ask what he's doing that later that night because I had nothing to do because at that point I had no friends. So I was just like, what are you doing tonight? And he's like, oh, I'm going to with some friends to get drinks. And I was like, oh, okay. And like there was no invite or anything. He's like, oh, like after a while, he's like, oh, do you want to come? And I was kind of like, oh no. And now it just seems like a pity invite. And then after a while, it took me like an hour or two. And I was like, actually, like, so I messaged him. I was like, actually, like, yeah, can I come? Because like, why not? What have I got to lose? So I went and then met his friends who were also lovely. And then like really just got along. And like, you just kind of, it was hard. That's always difficult. Like going out with people who are already friends. Always going to be difficult, always going to be a struggle because, you know, they already have that like bond. And like at some things you're going to feel like left out on or like not know the punchline of the joke or like the insides and outs, which like I did feel a little
And you
bit,
always like can't help but feeling like, oh, I'm with this group of established friends. I'm kind of annoying because I'm there like trying to slither in. They're probably like, oh, I wish it was just me and my normal friends. But you think about it, like most of the times you go out with like your group of friends, when you, like, very rarely are you going to be like, we don't want to interact with new people. Most of the time you're like, I've hung out with these friends a million times. We always want, like, more or different vibes.
Exactly. And, like, that's what I tried to do. And then, so from there, when I was just hanging out with him that night, I just tried to really, like, find common grounds, find common interests, like, compliment people, but, like, make them real compliments, like, not fake.
Like, we all kind of assume that people have other things going on and they're not going to be interested. Like, for some reason, there's just always this thing where we like, that's just our assumption. We're like, or just say you see someone at uni, they're like, oh no, they've probably got already a friendship group. They're not like going to be interested or whatever. But everyone has this like assumption, yet I think probably 99% of people are not going to shoot down the opportunity for a new connection.
Exactly.
Especially when other people are also new in an environment, or even not. Like, most people are always open to it. So,
yeah,
like, being the person to go for it. I remember, like, when I was on exchange, and, like, I was the English Australian person in these classrooms, and literally I was just kind of sat there assuming, because of the fact that I was random from Australian, they already had like everything going on. They had no interest in like hanging out with me. So like I hardly made an effort with these other students, when in reality, after speaking, I actually ended up speaking to a couple in hindsight, some of the people I were friends with, and they were like, oh, we were seeing you on Instagram, like going out with your friends, like you're the Australian person, you like are doing all these things, like you wouldn't want to hang out with us. And so we all just are kind of thinking like, no, they're okay. They won't need to. But if you are the person to actually go for it, people aren't going to shut that down. And if they do, then
why would you want to be friends with them anyway? That's my thing. And like, I think it's just like, from my point of view, I know a lot of people don't like doing this and stuff like that, but I love meeting new people. Like, even if sometimes it's like anxiety inducing, I love meeting new people. I love getting to know new people. Like, I don't know, it's kind of a thing where I love to have another person to kind of understand or connect with in a way. So, and I feel like a lot of people, although they might be really like anxious in those situations, they do enjoy it too. So I think it's just thinking like, if you're feeling that way, there's a high probability that they're feeling this way too. So why not? Just throw yourself in.
Exactly. So the first of these TikToks I saw was interesting. It's kind of the kind of similar ideas, but it was basically saying like his only point was show up at the same place consistently, because of the fact that the reason we all find it so easy in like school is because we're there every single day with the same people. And he was basically saying like, if you show up at the same spot or do the same thing, if it's like a cafe or a gym or like a class of some sort, you're going to end up interacting with the people that are there and getting to know them, and you already have the shared interest of whatever you're showing up to at the same time.
That's so true. Like,
so
when I started pole classes, I quit them. But when I started
what's happening? You quit it?
Oh yeah, because I just like, it was just like, I didn't have the money at the time, still don't. So I just couldn't do it. But
Yeah.
like even like sometimes I'd show up and there'd be like the same people, and like I only went to like 3 or 4 classes, but like I could still feel those bonds starting to like form. Like I'd talk to some girls and stuff like that, and I bet if I kept going I would have become friends with them more. And it does work. Trust me, it does work. Yeah.
And this
So,
is the other one, which
recommend.
is a similar vibe, but everyone listen in.
Can someone tell me how the fuck you make friends after high school?
I'm probably about to expose myself, especially to the new friendships I'm currently cultivating, but here is my friendship recipe. It only has 2 ingredients, but it takes a ton of repetition at consistent intervals. First is shared experiences. Just having dinner or drinks every once in a while is not enough to sustain or build a friendship. That's like maybe your relationship with your therapist. A shared experience could just be attending the same Twitch stream or yoga class at the same time. And it doesn't even have to happen at the same time. For example, one of the friends I made on TikTok, we've never met. We just like theorizing about influencer culture. So I read articles, I send it to her, she reads it, and that's our shared experience. Which brings me to the second ingredient, vulnerable discussions. You can start off just by debriefing the shared experience. What did you like? What did you not like? What did you find challenging? What was something that reminded you of something in your past? After I shared the article with my friend, I told her what some of my favorite lines were, asked her what her favorite lines were, and then shared how this reflected on my own anxiety.
Oh, that's so interesting. No, I definitely think that works too. And that's like one of my really like closest friends. Like she actually lives in, she moved to Washington, soon to be New York, at the start of this year at the same time that I moved to Sydney. Now she's my closest friend, but I've literally only met her twice, and that was last year. But the first time we met, we met through like a mutual friend, and we knew about each other and stuff like that, but we only met for the first time. And literally the first time we met, it was with a couple of other girls, and we were playing We're Not Really Strangers. And it like connects you, like if you actually want to go into it really deeply, you can. And we did that, and we got really deep and really connected and talked about all of these like really, I don't know, things that like you wouldn't usually talk about with random people that are strangers. But we did that, and we've literally so close. Like I would consider her one of my closest friends just by that like one interaction. And then after that, we saw each other one other time, and it was at her like going away party. But now we Zoom like every second week. And I literally would not have that friendship with her if not from like connecting on that level for the first time and being vulnerable, because we just realized we had so much in common, and that like we could understand each other on that level. And there were other people there playing that game too, and like I connected with them too, but like majorly just because it was just of the vulnerability and how open we were to each other's insecurities and like depths, I suppose.
Yeah, the other thing is just like a little bit different, but I would say online. Like I think we have such a cool advantage with the online space. The fact that there is like a community out there on like just about every platform for every single interest, and like there's obviously like Reddit forums, there's like Discord streams, there's like Instagram pages, there's TikTok communities of like everything you can be interested in. Like I met some of my closest friends now through Twitter, which was a bit different because I was like kind of a YouTuber, but they were all a part of like Stan Twitter. They were like on there with fan accounts for a musician or something, and that's how they were friends. And then I became friends with them via only the internet for a few months.
I still kick myself over that.
Over what?
The fact that I was literally friends with like one of them before you and closer friends with them, and then it was just because I had so much like going on in my life and so much issues happening that I just didn't feel comfortable in the space, and I could have had some really close friends, and that makes me so sad.
Ali's eternally like upset and jealous of the fact that she like was almost a part of this, but
yeah,
I mean,
I ran away. That's it. That was the turning point. I ran away.
Yes.
I like physically ran away.
She ran away, but quite literally, she just ran.
Quite literally ran away. It's fine. Oh god.
And yeah, and then most recently, like the most recent friends I've made have been through the Survivor game I played, because I like Survivor, and we played this game online. And obviously they're like friends you meet online, but like some of these people, like shout out to my man's Alex, who's been listening to the podcast every week. like you just yes, it's harder to kind of turn the friendships into. It's always going to be a bit different meeting people
Who's
online.
Alex?
But I don't
Why
think
have I heard of Alex? I have no clue.
Alex is just like a. You know those people you meet. I hate meeting it, but it's like the people you meet, and you're like, that's who I want to be as a person.
Yeah.
And
I
it just
know.
makes me like sad to interact. So I'm like, wow, I just envy you so much because like you are encompass who I want to be. So
Yep.
shout out to Alex because I'm just like I wish I could be as like nice and like friendly and just like good hearted as like.
Yeah. You're a little evil on the inside, I'm not gonna lie.
Literally, I know. Trust me, I'm
people-
so aware of that.
Even my mum like thinks you're the most angelic person in the world, and I'm like, Mum, he's literally like a little demon. Like sometimes.
No, people tell me like they pick up on the vibe. Like I give off
My
a
mum
bit of
thinks
a.
you're an angel. My mum thinks you're the sweetest person
Michelle.
to exist.
And
But
I'm like self-conscious about the fact that I give off like an evil vibe.
you don't.
But I
you don't
do.
give up though.
I do.
No, it's not like fully evil.
People tell
Like-
me it's not, I'm not like heartless. Like I'm gonna kill someone.
But like,
I
you have a little like kind of a little like
Yeah, let's-
ratty vibe to you. Does that make sense? Like
No, yeah.
I think-
Someone said I was like slimy the other day. They're like you just come across as slimy.
like Flushed Away the movie,
Yes.
and there's like the rats in that. That's like the little like slimy
Stop.
like, rat.
Why? No. Because deep on the inside, I feel like that's what I want to just be like a nice, like the person that's just like a good person.
You just, I'm sorry, you just
which
love
is-
the drama. You love the drama.
No, I
That's-
don't.
that's-
No, but
You do.
I mean,
You
I
do,
think
just-
you can be good and love the drama, but like loving the drama isn't what makes me like evil.
No.
I don't know what it is, but
You're not
maybe it's because I've
evil.
just
You
no.
just have a
You know what?
little
I
bit of,
blame you.
like,
You
a-
know how they say who you spend your time with is who are most like. Maybe it's I need to spend more time with people like Alex and less time with people like you.
Nobody has ever called me evil. I may be called dramatic.
I'm just-
I may be called.
I'm just putting it out there. That's because you give it to me. I take all your evilness from you.
No, that's not true. You've always been this way, Theo. It's okay. You used to film
I don't
people
know.
breaking up. You literally used to film people breaking
No,
up
see that's like
and follow them.
I feel like that's like a fun vibe though. That's not evil,
You just
isn't it?
you just even say that's a fun vibe. So evil. So evil. So evil.
Anyway, go online. You can make friends that way.
That's where Theo makes all these friends because they can't see his like evilness in real life. But no, online is like a great way to meet people. Love it. Unless they're a pedophile and not saying who they actually are. That's not good vibes.
Exactly.
But-
Isn't it funny how like much it's twisted into like, you know, the whole very classic don't talk to strangers online, and now like that's people like meet their partners online.
Yeah.
People meet their best friends
True.
online.
Oh my god, true. Like I remember like my mom was so anyway, I like even remember with my mom when I first met Will. I was like 14 and I literally just said to my mom, "Oh, I've met this person online. I'm going to his house in the city to film a YouTube video." And she just let me. A 14-year-old girl.
Who for context is one of the the friends I met on the internet.
Oh yeah,
before-
I was friends with him before you, thank you. We used to like FaceTime every single
You
day.
would never let go of that.
No. But no. And like my mom just didn't care. She was just like, okay. And like I literally went to his house and never met him in person. Went to his house
Yes, you
randomly.
could have been killed.
Anyway.
And I think you were doing like a taste test food video too, so who knows what could have been in that food.
We were no vibes. We love.
We
But
do
that's
love-
how you meet friends, people. Put yourself out there.
That's how you do
Risk
it.
it all.
Yeah.
Risk your life.
I just love coming onto this podcast and like ranting advice. Like, guys, you just have to put your like the other person doesn't care. Just put yourself out there, and then I get back into real life, and I'm like, no, but they've got other friends. They don't want to hang out with me.
Oh god. I
So-
think it's time.
Am I the
The
arsehole?
arsehole. Are you ready for this?
Which, as we've just discussed, I probably am.
Yep. So, which one to choose? Actually, I think I'm gonna go. Am I
Okay.
the asshole for sleeping naked on top of the covers to teach my flatmate's girlfriend a
Oh,
lesson?
Oh, on what? Wait, on top of Their
The
covers?
covers. Yeah, on top of their covers.
Whose
to teach
covers?
I'm assuming their own covers.
Oh, wait. So his own covers.
Yeah. Naked.
Why is that bad? Is he like leaving the
Well-
door open or something?
We're getting into the story.
Oh, there's more.
New
okay.
to Reddit. Please bear with me. So a
Bear with
21-year-old
me.
guy,
Okay. Can relate.
live
With you so far.
live with my childhood best friend, 22, also a guy, and have done for 2 years now. Up until last week, things were perfect between us. However, he recently got a new girlfriend, a 23-year-old lady, and she honestly seems absolutely great, except for one thing. Oh my god. She seemingly has a complete aversion to knocking. She and I have quite a lot in common, and I actually like spending time with her. However, it
Okay.
bugs the hell out of me when she just barges into my room without knocking first. That is such a big pet peeve. I hate that. Anyway. Now, she's never walked in on me doing anything untoward. I'm usually just chilling on my bed or studying at my desk. However, on at least 7 separate occasions now, she's done it first thing in the morning to ask if I want coffee. I sleep naked.
Oh.
Every time prior to the last one, I've been under the covers and she hasn't seen anything. I always point out that she could have, and she just giggles and says, but I didn't.
Oh my.
When she stayed over last week, in order to make my point, I intentionally slept on the top of the covers. Sure enough, she barges in at 7 a.m., begins to ask if I want coffee, and sees my you-know-what. She immediately backs out of the room and didn't speak to me for the rest of the day. My mate later pulled me aside and said I was bang out of order, accused me of deliberately exposing myself, and pointed out that I'd threatened to do it before. I literally just said, okay, but what if I had no covers and you saw everything before? They're now framing this to others that I'm some sick creep who I intentionally got naked and lay in wait for her because that's how I got my rocks off. And I'm kind of seeing how it came off that way. Am I the asshole for doing this?
Bruh.
I
Okay,
I
that took
thought
a turn that I didn't expect.
Yeah. I thought I was going to had like an indefinite answer. I thought I was just going to be like, no, he's not the asshole.
Oh. See, I think that's where I'm at.
See, well, I thought that
Because
too.
I was leaning towards that she was like into it. She was like hoping this would happen. And then so I was surprised that she was annoyed and ignored him all day. But in saying that, I also feel like surely it's not that big of a deal that you're going to be dramatic and ignore someone all day. But maybe, like, just say if you're in that situation, you walked in on your housemate or someone else naked, and you think they could have been like they were intentionally doing that, are you like horrified? Sure, you're just like, what? It's a naked person. Like, sure, you can't go like, oh my gosh, why would you do that? Laugh it off.
I think it's the fact that like they're now like framing him to other people to be like a creep. I just think that like they're both in the wrong. Well, him not as much, but like he also could have
But
just
what's
like
he in
sat
the
her
wrong
down.
for?
Well, he was just in his bedroom. He's not in the wrong for anything actually. But he did know
unless showing yourself, I don't know, is showing yourself naked to someone without like asking them, is that like some
But he
form
was
of...
in his own bedroom. Like he is allowed to be naked in his own bedroom. But he did know that
Exactly.
she
I
was
feel
going to
like
come
they've got
in.
no argument with that he can't rebuke by
Except
saying,
that he knew
well,
that
maybe
she was going to come
maybe
in.
knock.
Well, that's my thing. He could have just like sat her down and be like, "Hey, can you please?" Oh, but he did try and do that, didn't he?
No, well, he kept making. Well, that's why I thought when he was making the comments like, you know, one day you could walk in on me naked, and she's like, but I didn't. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, yikes! The other housemate better watch out.
He could have just sat her down and been like, "Can you please stop? Like, can you please like knock before you come in?" Instead of just like waiting until.
I mean, we could always do like the boring, more mature option, but then would there be any fun in life?
True.
Okay, our next one. Am I the arsehole for pretending to get fired when customers get a temper with me? Weird. I'm confused. Intrigued. I'm a high schooler with a weekend job at a coffee shop. My co-workers who work weekends are James, the owner's son. He goes to my school. He's a shift manager, but it's not a real formal thing. He's a friendly guy. and Danielle, a college student who sometimes works weekends too. So sometimes customers will come in and just be angry about such little stuff, like literally blow up about nothing. I don't know if they're in a bad mood already and looking for something someone to take it out on or what, but it's a lot. Like how sad do you have to be to be a grown-ass man taking your anger out on high school and college kids? So James and I were joking about having a little fun with them and hopefully getting them off our backs. So one day I was at work and some guy was having a temper about how we don't make the coffee hot enough, which I couldn't do a thing about because I gave it to him right out of the machine. Which is strange. How are you making the coffee? What do you mean right out of the machine? Anyway, like don't you have to heat the milk?
Yeah, but there's only so much like hot you can do until it's burnt. Or if it's an espresso, if it's right out of the machine, you can't make it any hotter.
This is true. So James came in and was like, "Sir, is there a problem here?" And the guy started ranting at him too. So he was just like, he was just like to me, "This is unacceptable, you're fired." I started acting real sad, like, "No, please don't fire me, my family needs the money, I need this job, please." And he played up being a hard ass, telling me to take off my apron and leave. The angry guy started his backtrack like, "It isn't that much of a problem, you don't need to fire her over it, I didn't mean it." And James was like, "No, we pride ourselves on the best customer service." Of course, after all that drama, I still had my job, we were just acting. And we've done it a couple of times. Whenever a customer will lose their temper at Danielle or I, James will storm in and fire us. And almost every time the person who would come in angry will apologize and say that they didn't mean it. It's kind of satisfying making people realize their actions might actually have consequences. Anyway, I was telling my friends from school about this and a few of them thought it was a mean prank to let someone go away thinking they'd gotten someone who desperately needs the money fired. Am I the asshole for this joke?
Definitely not. That's a well-deserved, like...
I'm obsessed. That is amazing.
That's literally the best thing ever, especially, like, working customer service. I mean, like, you know, hospitality and stuff like that.
Truly. Like, that's the kind of thing that makes me want to work in hospitality, like, doing pranks like that on the customers. Like, any time you kind of even have a bit of fun, like, at customers who are, like, annoyed or just a pain is just, like, the most rewarding thing. But is he an asshole? Like, putting aside the fact that we've both worked in hospitality, is it like a bit dog? Like, you're the customer, you walk away feeling sad about this, like feeling really guilty.
No, if they're literally getting mad at the workers for nothing or for something that workers can't handle, you know, they're being Karens or they're being just complete dicks. Like, they deserve to feel that. No offense.
I agree. No, that is a perfect revenge karma. But like in a best way because he's teaching them a lesson.
Exactly, and hopefully they won't do it again.
My favourite thing when like just like thinking back to customers getting pissed off is when other customers would like start fighting them for me. Yeah. I used to so appreciate it. Like I remember one time like taking an order out to a car that was like in park and the lady was like, "Why does it take so effing long for you to make me a cheeseburger?" Blah, blah, blah. And the lady in the car behind her is like, "Pipe down, bitch." Like, they're trying their best. And I was like, "Thank you." And then the two were just like going back and forth. And I'm like, "Thank you so much. You're the best."
Oh, no. Like, I haven't had any crazy experiences. I've just like mostly like seen other people go through them that I'm like when I'm working. But that's enough. Oh, there's actually this one time at my job, which I now quit.
What? Oh no.
It was one time at the job that I quit. There was like a call, so I had to pick it up.
As in the job, as in your current job.
Yeah. So I quit my job. I'm pretty sure I told this last week. Anyway, I quit my job.
No, you said you were tempted.
Oh,
you were like,
did.
I don't
quit
know if I can do this anymore. And we're like, no, you got this. Like, you need the money. You want the experience.
Yeah, well, I quit
She's
because
quit.
like I couldn't mentally function. Like I was mentally just like breaking down. I'm not joking. I was literally falling into
No, that makes sense. I'm just
laughing at that. I lasted like
I'm just thinking back to like 3 weeks ago when you were like, yeah, the story and the lady came up to you and you're like, "Damn, this is the universe."
Okay, but I actually did think like it was meant to be because like it gave me the opportunity to put myself first and make sure I put myself first, which was really hard, but like I need to learn to do more. Anyway, I just mentally couldn't handle it. Like I was like, after like working for a couple weeks, I was putting my school on the back end burner and I'm not mentally at the point where I can do both, which sounds like really privileged, but like why should I put myself through the pain if I can't do both? You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
like
Yeah.
I'm lucky
And-
enough and in a
yeah.
fortunate enough position to not have to work 3 jobs or 2 jobs or a job to survive. Like, luckily, like, I have support. Why? I don't know.
That's true. And I think
there's-
if you do
there's-
have advantage, you shouldn't like disregard that advantage just for the fact that you
Yeah.
have it. Like,
Yeah.
embrace it. And especially with like, you can do that habit of being like, well, I should have a job and like, I do want to earn my
Yeah.
own money. So let's do it. But the thing is, if you haven't even got like what you're currently doing sorted and in check,
Exactly.
then none of it's going to work out. And especially when this is your
Exactly.
main priority, like get this working first. And then if you still want a job, seek one then.
Well, that was my thing. And like I was speaking to somebody and they were like, it's literally so weird how we kind of idealize the strive or the struggle. Like everybody like feels like they have to be doing that or like struggling, even if like you have the option to not struggle. And yes, I would love to be
True.
able to work, because I actually didn't mind the job. Like, although it was like hard, like lots of the co-workers were great and I loved earning my own money and like going somewhere and having somewhere to be. But I just like realized that I was then not like I couldn't even deal with school before I got my job. Like I wasn't on top of my schoolwork before I got my job. So I don't know why I thought adding something else into the mix would be okay, because it just made everything even harder, which was really stupid. I don't know why I did that. Anyway, so I quit my job because I realized that like I literally moved up to Sydney to study, and it's really stupid of me to sabotage that and not be able to finish my study because I decided to put something else first, which was really stupid. So that's why I quit my job. But the question that I was going to say, the story what I was going to say was that like this one time at the job that I was at, I picked up the phone because it was a phone call, and there's this person and he's like, can I please talk to the manager, da 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 da. And I was like, he was like kind of angry, and I was like, oh sorry, like the manager like isn't here because somebody told me to say that. And I was like, is there like, can I leave? Is there something you want me to tell them or da da da? They're like, yeah, can you tell them to fucking stop putting this stupid fucking sign on the side of the walk, or I'm going to call the council. And they were like going off at me, and I was like, oh, like, I'm really like sorry. I was like, oh, okay. And he's like, yeah, you better fucking tell them that if I see that there one more time, I sweat it. And I was like, okay. I was like, I just told you the manager is here. I was like, what, you want me to completely say that back to my manager? Yes, this is what this person said. And then for some reason I got in trouble because I didn't hand off the phone to somebody else. Anyway, people are awful. And if I could fuck with that dude on the phone by being like, you got me fired, I would do it. I would do it in a heartbeat.
It is truly crazy. Like, I used to find it humorous the way when like customers would go crazy and you would just be staring there like in your little like Macca's hat being like, I'm like a 16-year-old. Like, I just came from school to work my 3-hour shift, get like $10 an hour. I just want to like get my coin and go. And this person's like going crazy about their Macca's. And like, to be honest, I get being annoyed and like complaining when something happens when you're like trying to eat.
Yeah.
But I would always just be like, what is this like?
Yeah. It's literally like, do you
like,
realize
I'm sorry.
that
like,
people aren't going out of their way to make other people's lives more difficult, especially in hospitality or like, you know, retail or whatever, because it's their job to make sure the customer's happy. Like, you're not going out of your way to be like, yes, I make sure this is difficult for you and to make your day worse. Like, that's what I wanted.
right.
Like, no.
I used to like,
Crazy times.
I would never, I wish I could have thought of the firing thing, except Max is too boring to like allow that. But I would like just pretend it was like my first shift or whatever. So like one day I remember, this is so embarrassing. It was awful. It was like super crazy busy, and I was like taking all the orders, like doing the money, right? Like, you know, where they stand doing that section. And I was super stressed because it was so crazy. I'm like running around, blah, 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 blah. And with the person that gets to the window, and they've been sitting there for a while, and the dude was like struggling there, mate, are you? Like something like kind of with a bit of like a sassy tone. And I was like so embarrassed, like stressed. And I was like, oh no, it's like my first shift here. And he goes, mate, I just saw the words crew trainer on the back of your shirt. It's clearly not your first shift. And I was like, damn it. Because I was wearing like a blue shirt and I was a crew trainer. So it said that like in big writing on my back. And I was like, I'm sorry. And then they're just like laughing to each other in the car. And I like wanted to cry at that moment.
You could have just been say like this is the only shirt they had. Like it's my first shift, and they
I know.
I'm
I'm not that quick on my feet. I just crumbled. I'm
No,
like,
I
I'm
wouldn't have
sorry.
been that quick either.
I'm sorry.
Oh
That's
my
like
God.
1070.
That would have been humiliating. I'm so sorry.
Literally scarred me for a day.
Well, that was Am I the Asshole? So I don't think either of them are the asshole in that ending. I think that's the conclusion we came to.
Yeah, I think we should try next time. We'll try we want to do this until we get someone where we're like, no, they're definitely the asshole.
Yes. I actually want to find one that's like, yep, 100%, no doubt about it. They are the asshole.
Shouldn't have done that.
No, but that's been this week's episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Yeah, I do hope you guys enjoyed. Like, I had to think about that for a second.
No, I hope
was
you
like,
didn't enjoy
yeah.
it. I hope you sat there listening to an hour and a half of this episode just like, this makes me want to die.
As per
But you know what? If
usual-
you didn't enjoy it and you still made it this far, that's almost even better. So thanks for still listening.
No, 100%. Like, if you've listened all this way, you are the real MVP. You are it. But no, as per usual, if you want to find out what we're doing in between episodes, in the regular days of our lives, go follow us at Ali_Malcolm, Theo.McCoy,
Hey,
the Undecided Gen Z on Instagram. We've got a Facebook group page, which, as I said, I posted some early highlights of my life. I'm on there, and I'll be posting an anesthesia video to give you guys the full in-depth view of what I'm actually
what video?
like.
Yes.
Anesthesia?
Yes.
Anesthetic. Oh my god.
Sure.
Anesthetic? Maybe Theo will link the video of me hurting my finger. Who knows? But no, there will be content on there. So if you want to go do that, that's the Undecided Gen Z Facebook group. And honestly, guys, put anything you want in the group too, because it's a community for all of us to just share things and laugh and stuff. Because
Ali's like, I posted once in the last 6 months. Suddenly, this page is going up. You can't miss it. It's
nobody posts except for us.
I mean, we don't post either. I was genuinely thinking like about bringing it up. Like, do we shut the group? Like,
Do we
is it
shut the
time to
group?
die?
Maybe.
But I just saw that you got quite a few comments. And so I think the group could be fun. We
It
just
could
need
be
to.
if people contributed. If I contributed. No, it would be fun.
We could start.
I think we should start it up again. But as per usual, if you want to be a review of the week, go leave a little review and a rating. As per usual makes. I keep saying as per usual.
Please.
God, I really need to.
You do.
I need to
You do. It's a
fix
new
my
phrase.
vocabulary. But if you want to get our podcast out there and help us out, go leave a rating,
Apple
a
Podcasts.
review,
Be there.
share with a friend.
Thank you so much for listening, guys. We hope you have an amazing week, and we'll see you very soon with another episode of the Undecided Gen Z. Bye.
That was so disgusting.
Wait, why was that yuck?
Bye.
I was happy with that. See you guys.